Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my sketchbook. It's Tuesday. People are still digging out after a little bit of a storm yesterday and, well, kind of finishing up today, but thinking of snow. So let's zoom in on this. I have an idea. Actually, I'm going to move this up a little bit to, well, there. All right. Dip the pen. Let's see what we can come up with. Well, what I have going on in my head right now has to do with adventure, let's say. And I like to have adventures. What's great about that? Well, sometimes, if I'm feeling up to it, I like to use my imagination. And I think that's a good thing. It's more fun whenever, you're running around, doing cool stuff, seeing what your friends and family are up to. Where you go to, let's say, kind of like laser tag or something like that. You have to try to find people. I think that's pretty fun. So what I'm working on in my brain right now for this would be something along the lines of like hide and go seek. But just kind of like a fun thing. So not too serious. Have somebody out and about on a snowy day. So that thumb is closer to the head on that side. Wearing kind of like mittens, maybe. I'm not sure yet. Hide and go seek is not really something that I would play so much now. It happens, I suppose, but my nieces and nephews are probably a little bit beyond the age of, try to find me kind of thing. So now it's like video games or, playing sports. Let's see. I don't know why I feel like pigtails, they seem hilarious to me. So I'm just going to put some in. And we're just wearing a vest because it's not really, really cold for the adventure. We're using like a pretend wooden sword, I think, as well. for the adventure. And we're looking around. This, by the way, is one of the greatest adventurer poses of all time. If you're a rock guitar player, you might step on, the PA or the amp or the speaker. Oh yeah, this is the good adventure mode super stance. Again, we're wearing a toque because we got to keep at least our heads warm. Let's go with a little bit of shade where the eyes are, because that's what we're doing with our hand, keeping the sun out of our eyes a little bit. So that's the rough idea for that. But what could we be looking for? Who are we looking for? Well, could be a snowy, right? Have to find some place to stand, I suppose. A tree stump, maybe. It's a good spot to stand. I can tell you this much. For a good chunk of the day, I was doing some snow removal. That's not really my favorite thing in the world, but it is kind of interesting. When you're outside for a good chunk of the day, you have a great appreciation for being inside after a while. So it is enjoyable. I do like being outside, but when you have work to do, it's a chore. It's not nearly as much fun. It's an unusual sort of tree. Well, the root system, anyway, is kind of unusual. Let's move up here a little bit. Way, way up here. Could be like mountains back here, maybe. I'm not really sure what's going on. Let's look around a little bit more. Maybe right here we'll have a tree. We'll fill out the tree a little bit more, I think. We'll have another tree here. This one's kind of, maybe it's toppled over a little bit. That happens in the forest sometimes. Once in a while, if you go into the woods, you can hear the animals moving about and singing songs. Birds might be chirping. The woods are alive. Let's have another tree here too. Just a little bit smaller than that one, let's say. Just kind of like maybe cliffs or something in the background there, or a little bit of a hill. Make sure the snow is piled up. Hmm. Maybe there can be like a strange pile of rocks. And lots of snow just kind of piled up all over the place. Lots of snow piled up. Now let's do sort of an outline on some of the snow pile. Maybe some icicles and stuff too would be in a couple of spots, but maybe, maybe not. Now let's see what we can do with our friend here who's the searcher in the hide and go seek. Maybe we can work on the face just a little bit. Sounded like my buddy Neville for a moment. Probably telling me that we're about 21 minutes into this. Uh-huh. He's so helpful. Now let's put a little zipper on this vest. Just like that. And I don't own a puffy jacket, but let's say this is like a puffy vest. Kind of a pocket there, let's say. One over here. This is kind of where you can add in all those strange details. I can kind of make it a little less cartoony in a way too, I suppose. Like the way I did the face is very cartoony. So it just so happens that if you're ever stuck as the person who searches, it is a great cruelty to stop looking. So if you're playing a game like Sardines or Hide and Go Seek, and everyone has their hiding spot, and you're just so frustrated, the next thing is to admit, what's that, Neville? Coming up in 25 minutes? Yeah, thanks, man. Anyway, admit that you give up, and perhaps they will all come out of their hiding spots. So yesterday's picture, I drew somebody who was enjoying some soup. This person might need some soup after the day they've had looking for whomever it is they're looking for. Some of the hair maybe would come over the glove a little bit, but not a lot, because We probably would have had to move our bangs over. Dip the pen. Just some outlining. I don't know what would be the most awesome creature that I've seen in the woods would be. I've seen a little bear. I've seen eagles. I think eagles are probably amongst the most spectacular creatures, especially in flight. So maybe that. But then, I'm convinced that I've seen like little magical creatures. If that's a possibility, you know, something just out of the corner of your eye just kind of moves really fast or something like that. Sometimes your imagination can kind of get a little wild. Let's zoom in on that just for fun. While our person is doing the best that they can to try to find whatever it is, or whoever it is, they're looking for in their game of hide and go seek. So here we'll have like a footprint, let's say. Maybe like one there. Kind of like a little bit of a shuffling around here. We could have one here, so just so you see where I'm going. One there. One there. One there. Kind of like that. Now, I won't be doing any color in this one, so I'm going to leave that much of it alone for our adventurer. Do a little bit of outline on this wooden sword. We're going to have some more like nail holes there for how it's all put together. Well, let's try to find a couple of more pieces of snow, just lumps of snow. Well, I don't know if I need to go too much further than this, just as a funny, weird little concept. Put a couple of little lumps of snow just out and about. Maybe right here we'll put a small little tree. A coniferous tree, one that grows cones, has needles instead of leaves. Have another little one here too. Well, I sure hope our friend here finds what they're looking for. Let's head out for a moment. I'll just do a little bit more on this snowbank. Okay, well, I don't know if there's really anything else for now. We're probably good. For just a silly idea. Okay. Anyway, folks, I think that's probably it for now. I don't think it needs to be any further or go any further. Just lumps of snow and trees and adventures. And, I could make this tree quite a bit bigger if I wanted to. I'm going to do that. Just sort of setting up the area that I want it to be. Because in a way, I made those trees seem as if they could be far away, but I really wanted them to be nearby. Smaller than like Christmas trees or. So I'm just making a mess of that a little bit. The other one's still around. All right, folks. I think that's it for now. I think it's kind of silly enough. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hopefully, not a whole lot of snow removal. I got to go do some shoveling now myself this morning. All right. Well, that's it. Have a great day. Enjoy the Tuesday and all the fun. All right. Ciao for now.